So today we're just going to start with one of our young horses, Leo. We're just going to talk about getting them to like their first show, the warm-up routine, some of the exercises that you must do before they go to their first show, or what they should be comfortable with doing when they first go out, so it's not such a big surprise when they first go out.
Oh, so these are sort of pointers, is that right? Or...
Yeah, exactly that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for the horse and yourself?
Yeah, horse and rider.
Yeah.
Horse and rider. Okay. We'll be working on shortening and lengthening of the stride, just making sure that water trays and doubles and combinations and things like that are all covered. Just so there's no big surprises when they get there. And obviously the warm-up routine, I think too many people spend too long warming up. It is a warm-up. That's it. Talk you through just a warm-up routine for a show. As a rule, really 10-15 minutes is ample, obviously depending on what you're sat on or what your horse is. Some need a bit more than others. This is Leo. He's a 6-year-old. He's currently jumping British Novice and Discoveries, so he doesn't need to be jumping loads and loads of big jumps outside. So obviously we'll come to the jumping in a moment. I think on the flat, really, it's just about warming the muscles up, not making them too tired. So really, like 5-10 minutes really is ample, I think, as long as they're warmed up enough. So I would get on normally with a young one especially, and walk around for probably, to start with, a good 5 or 10 minutes, just to so they can get used to their surroundings and relax. And then the actual warm up itself, like I say, 5 or 10 minutes. So we'll imagine that we've done the walking for the first 5 or 10 minutes to get used to his surroundings. So then we just go to a rising trot. Obviously in the it's a little bit fresh there. Obviously in the collecting ring, I'd always try to work on both reins. I know that that's not always possible because it's too busy or the arena might be too small. So normally just a nice forward rising trot just to make sure that he's off my leg, it's taking the contact, and obviously to get all the muscles warmed up nice and ready. So because obviously this isn't a show, we'll change the rein. Going to the right rein, same kind of thing, nice and forward, making sure he's off my leg. Inside flexion there, making sure he's off my inside leg and moving away, which he is. And then to the outside flexion, making sure he's off my outside leg, moving nicely off my outside leg, which he is. Nice and forward, he's nice and relaxed in the mouth, he's not stiff, not one-sided. Yeah. So that's good. I think he's now ready for a canter. So try to go walk to canter to avoid the trot. Again, the same kind of thing, just making sure he's off my leg, nice and forward. Just stop him there. He's about to go into the wrong lead. Okay, so we've got a left canter now. Same kind of thing, just cantering around, making sure that it's nice and relaxed, nice and soft on both reins, or the inside and the outside, making sure he's off my leg. So I just push him a little bit more forward there, and then close him up. A strong outside leg. Forward again, making sure he's off my leg. So that's good. Still very green, this horse, but it's actually lovely to ride for a green one. Okay, so we just change the rein, come back to a trot. Obviously with the older ones, we'll be doing a flying change here. They're not quite established yet with Leo, so we come back to a trot. into a canter. Nice forward canter. He's nice and soft on both reins here, making sure he's off my inside leg, which he is. Then moving forward, making sure he's off and going. So that's good. Now close him up again, make sure he's listening to my hand. A bit too much there. A little bit outside flexion, make sure he's off my outside leg, which he is. And yeah, he feels good. Bring him back to his rising trot. And then walk, and then we'll just stop him. Just back him up a couple of steps. We'll back, just to make sure he's off my hand, off the forehand, sorry. That's it, and we're ready to jump. So as a rule, I think people do too much jumping, so we won't be having too many jumps. Nice and easy, a few cross poles to start with, and then we'll move up from there. You should never really jump too much bigger than what you're going to jump in the ring. So we'll start off with the cross pole, and then we'll move up from there. Oh, oh. Okay, then we'll just have one more. Okay, so let's have that a bit bigger then, please. So the lovely Eve's just going to make it up into a little vertical. Again, nothing too difficult. We'll have a little bit of ground line, maybe 3-4 inches away from the fence, just to keep him off of it. It's quite important in the warm-up with the jumping that we don't do too much. We want to save the jump for in the ring. So obviously it's just a warm-up rather than, you know, doing too much to make them tired before they go in. Too many people do too much. Okay, so that's good enough. So I have a bigger one now, please. Tend to go up 2 or 3 holes at a time. Again, so we don't have to jump too much. If you just go up by 1 hole at a time, you end up having to jump a million jumps before you go in. So I think that was my 3rd jump now. So we'll probably have 1 or 2 more at this, and then we'll move to an oxer. Okay, a bit bigger, please. Feels okay at the moment. Feels a little bit that he's a bit steppy, so he's not really jumping as well as he could do. But then, you know, he doesn't need to at this height, so we'd expect that. Okay, so that's a bit better. Okay, little oxer, please. Okay, right. So we're finished with the vertical now, so we're moving on to the oxer. Just a small little oxer. We'll have 2 or 3 of those, and then in the ring. Slightly ascending, just to get them in the air. And yeah, like I say, nothing too big. So we'll jump the oxer. Still feeling very fresh. There we go. Okay, so that was fine. A bit wider, please. So usually with a young one especially, I go a bit wider first. Just to get them to stretch out a little bit before we go higher. Okay, it's a little bit flat from me there really. I probably should have gone 1 extra stride to that. So we'll have it nice and square now then, please. So when I say square, I mean that the front rail is the same height as the one at the back. He's laughing because she thinks I'm being condescending, but I'm not. I'm just trying to explain it. It's still not square. So you'd have it one more in front, please, Eve. She's not got the best of eyesight. So anyway, so we have it nice and square. Now just to make them work the shoulders. Obviously when it's ascending, it gives them more time to get the front legs out of the way because the front rail is lower. So we're now having it so it's the same height. So they have to be a bit quicker in front. Again, we're not going to have anything massive. So yeah, see how we go. See how he jumps this. I'll try and go one extra stride myself this time, so we're not too flat. It's better for me, but quite fresh from Leo. It's a good jump. So yeah, so I think maybe we'll just have it up. One more hole then, please. Or two, go up two. Obviously, if he's only jumping British Novice Discovery, so plenty big enough now. Metre 10, I suppose. A little bit bigger than what he'd be jumping in the ring. I try to do that so that at least when they go in the ring, it's smaller in the ring than what we're jumping out here by a little bit. So it's, you know, in theory, it's easier. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, good. Okay, so that'll do with the octa. So normally now I'd probably let him just walk around for 2 or 3 minutes just to catch his breath. Wait till there's about one to go in the ring, and then just have a vertical to finish. So if we could just have the rail you put on the floor away, Eve, because that's actually illegal in the collecting ring. Okay, and then just have the ground rail in a little bit, please. We don't want to help them too much out here. You know, if anything, if they make a mistake out here, it's better they do it here rather than in the ring. Okay, Eve, that's enough. Thank you. Okay, I think I'll probably just have one more. He felt a little bit on the sloppy side there. Wasn't quite quick enough for me with his shoulders. Oh. Again, I think I'll probably just have one more. So a little bit more ground line, please, Eve. He's ran himself a little bit close there. Didn't quite finish off his jump behind, so now we'll go to a little bit more ground line just to keep him away from the fence. That's better. Okay, good. That's a good one to finish on. So now he's ready for the ring.
Is that everything you need to say today, do you think? All covered? All done?
Yeah,
Warm-ups?
I think so, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, kind of sick of talking about warm-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think if you follow those basic kind of rules, really, yeah, I think good people spend too much time warming up. It's a warm-up. It's not a test of how big you can jump, how wide you can jump, or how much you can do.
Yeah.
I think I said before, you know, a lot of people, they work hard all week and have lessons and do everything right, and then they get to the show and they lose their head completely, or goes a bit mad, and then they, you know, they
it's
rush.
just the panic of the time.
Yeah, and they rush, and then they go in the ring. You know, it all goes tits up. So take your time, have a bit of a plan. Don't do too much.
10 minutes.
15 minutes tops. I think if you're on a young one or a really excitable one, then maybe, I don't know, maybe if you can walk them around for 15, 20 minutes if you've got time, or half an hour, just to get them used to the surroundings, then and brilliant. I know that when I was a kid.
So the idea is just to get the blood pumping, get them in
Yeah,
a sort of head
get
state.
used to the situation, you know,
Yeah,
like the
make you
young
feel
ones.
comfortable.
When I was a kid, with my uncle Mark Williams, my great uncle, my granddad, and well, my family, we'd rock up at a show, and sometimes the outdoor shows especially, and we'd wander the young ones about for like an hour, just to get them used to the surroundings, because they'd never seen anything like it. I think nowadays with time constraints and bits and bobs like that, then you can't really perhaps have the time to do that. But ideally, you let them walk around for a bit, but then the actual warm up in the collection ring, 10, 15 minutes tops, I'd say, really.
All right. Cool. Okay. Thank you very much. What's on for next week?
Well, some jumping exercises maybe. Maybe go over to my uncle Mark Williams's. I've got a new one to ride over there. We could perhaps go over there and have a look.
Sounds good. Yeah.
And my cousins, I'll perhaps be teaching them, so we could perhaps go through some stuff over there.
Okay. Leo was a bit frisky today, wasn't he? He was
A bit fresh, yeah. Yeah, it was a bit fresh.
Weather.
Because it's cold.
It's -2 today in England, so.
Is it?
Yeah, really cold today. It's snowing all next week. So.
Is it?
Yeah.
Great. Look forward to that then.
Yeah. Oh, probably be.
Good. Yeah. The weather week off.
Yeah.
This is different.